welcome everyone. I'm Bibi DeFreitas, and I work along Andrea McCormack and Tim Vining as part of the Employment Equity team, and we're really happy to be joining you today in this celebration.
May is Asian Heritage Month in Canada, and it is a time to celebrate the many contributions that Canadians of Asian descent have made and continue to make for social justice, the labor movement, and our country, and as citizens, workers, and activists too. Canada's history, culture, identity have all been shaped by the contribution of Asian Canadians. As the largest continent in the world, Asia represents 48 countries with a wide diversity of languages, ethnicities, and religious traditions too. That diversity has enriched Canada, and this year we're honored to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Senate's declaration of May as Asian Heritage Month.
Asian communities have unjustly encountered systemic racism in Canada for centuries. And in the face of this racism and discrimination, the resilience of the Asian people has shone through. Against every obstacle, you have risen and thrived and made incredible contributions to Canada's culture, politics, arts, science, and so much more.
The Honorable Dr. Vivian Poy, in 1998, became the first Canadian of Asian descent appointed to the Senate. In 2001, Dr. Poy put forward the original motion on the Senate floor to designate May as Asian Heritage Month.
This year's theme of recognition, resilience, and resolve inspires my own reflections as a woman of South Asian heritage and born in this country, but also of the stories of my parents. Their experience didn't quite live up to the promise of Trudeau's multicultural dream, and undoubtedly not many immigrants' experience did. Despite that, my parents overcame numerous obstacles and successfully carved out their space. But that was largely due to the support and resilience of the greater Asian community around them.
Events like today highlight the historical journeys and struggles of the diverse Asian communities and allow us to recognize the individual, institutional, and systemic racism, both past and present, that these impacted communities go through.
To think that there was ever such a thing as a head tax in the 1900s for Chinese people to immigrate to Canada is unthinkable, when today we can look to so many influential Canadians of Asian descent.
Certainly anti-Asian racism is not new. Like the other forms of racism in Canada and North America, it's been here for a long time, right? But one of the key parts of it, I think, is around scapegoating, right? Don't let them scapegoat us. Don't treat us like model minorities. And the fight against anti-Asian racism is a fight for social, economic, migrant, LGBTQ, social justice, right? It's a fight, it's an intersectional fight, right? And so when some people in the community try to take advantage of this to push reactionary and, not progressive goals, we need to call them out on that.
Eid al-Fitr is regarded as a time to celebrate, with Muslims gathering their families and friends to show gratitude towards God following the previous month of reflection.
Hunting with eagles is a traditional form of falconry practiced by ancient Mongolic and Turkic people. Today it is practiced by people in contemporary Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, as well as some regions in Mongolia and China.
Canada is home to the largest Tamil diaspora outside of the island itself, and our calls for a ceasefire to end the genocide were widely ignored. This particular protest happened on May 10, 2009, after months of holding demonstrations, hunger strikes, and rallies in Canada on the Tamil genocide. The blockade came after devastating news of 2 days of shelling in Sri Lanka's northern war zone that left over 1,000 civilians dead. The Gardiner Expressway protest was an integral example of how a community used grassroots mobilization to protest in the masses to call for action and have a domestic and international community finally hear our voices.
I think about the way my father pulled the family out of poverty without knowing what a vowel was, and my mother raised 4 children without being able to construct a perfect sentence in English.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you all for participating today and coming out. I know I personally have learned a lot.
We want to continue this conversation. We want to create space for all of our Asian staff in particular today. Just stay in touch with us. I think it's important to have a space where people can have the conversation.